Hey everybody, this is your host, the Platinum Knight, here with another Triple First Impressions video, and today's Triple First Impressions is Avatar Fire and Ash, Zootopia 2, and one battle after another. I'm gonna go ahead and start with talking about Avatar Fire and Ash first, because even though I saw Zootopia before Avatar 3, I have a lot to say about Avatar Fire and Ash out of these three movies. To give a quick recap on what I thought of the previous movies, I don't like the original Avatar. I remember being disappointed when I first saw it. I did not think that it deserved to be the highest grossing film of all time. It's still overrated. I didn't like it back then and I still don't like it now. Avatar: The Way of Water, in my opinion, was way better than the first film, especially graphically and aesthetically. The environments were way better and more creative. The cinematography was better, and I really enjoyed getting to know Jake Sully's new family. If you've seen any of the previous films, then you should already know what to expect out of Fire and Ash. This isn't really a spoiler, but Avatar Fire and Ash pretty much has the same plot as the previous two films. We all know what it is and what these movies convey. Save the Earth, protect the environment, and business corruption is bad. Even though Avatar Fire and Ash is pretty much just another retelling of the same story, however, I do not judge these movies based on the plot. I judge these movies based on aesthetics and the action. But surprisingly, this film does have some decent twists and turns this time around. So what did I like about Avatar Fire and Ash? As I mentioned earlier, the aesthetics and the environments are beautiful. The graphics are still outstanding. Everybody plays their roles just fine. Spider was the one that stole the whole show. Surprisingly, the fire Na'vis were actually pretty cool. These Na'vis are brutal and relentless, and the action is better than ever and the best out of the trilogy. I wish I could spoil this movie, but I'm gonna tell you guys right now, that ending was so satisfying. Okay, now it's time for the negatives. To be honest, because this is a very safe movie, there's really not a whole lot for me to even criticize. The only thing I was disappointed in is the wind Na'vis. Surprisingly, the wind Na'vis aren't really in this movie all that much. Before this movie even came out, I remember hearing that this movie was supposed to be about the fire Na'vis versus the wind Na'vis, but that is far from the case. Although they do fight each other, but only for 7 minutes. Yeah, the movie doesn't do anything with the wind Na'vis. They're only there for like, what, maybe 15 minutes at max? Then again, this movie is called Fire and Ash. Now, if the movie was called Fire and Wind, that would actually make less sense. Avatar Fire and Ash has since grossed $1.5 billion at the box office, making it the first movie in the series to not reach $2 billion. Now, I know some of you may say that's still successful. The problem is, while yes, it was successful, but the budget was at least $350 to $500 million. I think the reason why this installment did not make $2 billion is because, people are just getting tired of these movies. Not to mention, movie theaters and movie tickets are becoming way too expensive and people don't want to pay to watch the same movie over and over again. Which really makes me wonder if Disney / 21st Century Fox is gonna reduce budget cost. It is currently confirmed that Avatar 4 is scheduled to release on December 21st, 2029, and Avatar 5 is scheduled for December 19th, 2031. Which, damn, by the time these movies finally do come out, I'm already gonna be collecting Social Security. I wouldn't say that I'm excited for these installments, but if James Cameron continues to do a pretty decent job, I'll go ahead and watch them, especially if there's nothing else to see. Anyways, I really enjoyed Avatar Fire and Ash, and in my opinion, I think it would have to be the best film in the trilogy. It was fun watching this movie with all my friends at Universal Studios City Walk. However, for those of you who didn't like or hated the previous movies, you're most likely not gonna like this one. And for those of you who enjoy these movies, you'll definitely like this one for sure. Now, I so can't wait for James Cameron to return to the Terminator franchise with his new reboot. The next movie I'm going to talk about is Zootopia 2. Without spending too much time talking about this movie, because all you need to know is it is very good. Fun fact, I didn't watch the original on day one. I actually watched it on Disney Plus a day before watching the sequel to get ready to watch with my friend. I also didn't make a going to see video out of this film, but I did record some of our trip. We went to a nice mall and had delicious Nashville hot chicken. It's a great kids movie. Even though it has the same plot as the original, it's all about the comedy giving you a good time. While the first movie was about a rookie cop, which is Judy Hopps, trying to figure out what's making the felines go crazy, in the sequel it's about what's making the snakes and lizards look bad. It's also hard to believe that Zootopia 2 actually takes place 1 week after the first movie, when these two animated films were released 9 years apart. What really makes these movies gel so well is the chemistry between Judy and Nick. These two are hilarious together. Nick is basically a teaser to Judy, while she sometimes falls for his tricks, but she usually outsmarts him in the end. You can just tell that they love each other in a friendly way. Like SpongeBob and Patrick, Jennifer Goodwin and Jason Bateman do an amazing job bringing these characters to life. In my opinion, Zootopia 2 is just as good as the original. I love both films equally, and I'm happy to finally say that I saw the first movie along with its sequel. I enjoyed getting to know the world of Zootopia, seeing these humanoid animals mimicking the real world and calling out certain problems in real life. Hopefully it doesn't take another 9 years to make a Zootopia 3. The last movie I'm gonna talk about is One Battle After Another. This is a movie I saw during Christmas Eve. Again, I'm gonna try not to spend too much time covering this film because, to sum it up, I hate this movie. It's about an activist group that helps immigrants through the border until law enforcement steps in to stop them and they all become wanted criminals. The idea sounds good on a piece of paper, but poorly executed. The biggest problem with One Battle After Another is the characters are so dumb, so evil, and so stupid that it's hard for me to root for anyone. This film legit was so good at pissing me off. I swear, everyone in this movie is a moron. Especially Leonardo DiCaprio's character, which I'm honestly surprised he even agreed to do this film. Bob is so arrogant, so stupid, and such an unnecessary character midway. If he would have gotten caught, the story could have easily continued without him, cause he really doesn't do anything after his daughter is saved. Nothing of value would have been lost. But that's not even the worst part. Perfida would have to be the biggest unintentional villains in movie history. She's horrible. One of the most evil women, and I'm supposed to root for her? Funny thing is, this movie actually does forget about her in the middle of the movie. Once she disappears, she doesn't come back. They don't do anything with her character after that. Probably the most innocent character would have to be Charlene, but even she makes a pretty dumb decision. So get this, the same activist group that saves her, and even when they ask her if she has an extra phone or else they will be hunted, she lies to them and surprise surprise, the bad guys find them. Supposedly this film is supposed to be political satire. The problem with that is, what is this movie even trying to say? That everybody is horrible? Everybody is awful and the people we're supposed to root for are no better or any different compared to the villains? Anyway, One Battle After Another sucks. No wonder it flopped. It bombed so hard that it became one of the biggest box office flops of 2025, and I can clearly see why. For those of you that ended up liking this film, then that's good. Do not let my opinion stop you from liking it. As for me, I just couldn't get into it, and I am most likely never gonna watch it again. Alright everybody, that's it for this triple first impressions video. That's it for my first impressions on Avatar Fire and Ash, Zootopia 2, and One Battle After Another. This is the last first impressions video that I had to do in order to cover all the movies I have seen in 2025. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, then please be sure to give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Hit that notification bell for new videos. This has been your host, The Platinum Knight, and peace out everybody.